Dominique Sanda is a name that evokes mystery, artistry, and elegance. Known for her ethereal presence, luminous eyes, and quiet intensity, she was a fixture in the golden era of European art cinema. From her early triumphs in the 1970s with directors like Bernardo Bertolucci and Vittorio de Sica to her enigmatic retreat from the spotlight in later years, Sanda's career is a testament to timeless beauty and unshakable artistic integrity. This Then versus Now biography explores the rich tapestry of Dominique Sanda's cinematic journey, how a Parisian model became an international icon, and why her legacy continues to captivate cinephiles around the world. Dominique Marie-Francoise Renée Varenne was born on March 11, 1951, in Paris, France. Raised in a culturally refined environment, she studied literature and art, which helped nurture a thoughtful, introspective demeanor. Her foray into modeling began in her teens, and she quickly became one of the sought-after faces in European fashion. Her refined beauty, blonde hair, and dreamy gaze made her the ideal muse for designers and photographers. But behind the surface elegance was a young woman with deep emotional intelligence and a yearning for artistic depth. This combination attracted filmmakers interested in beauty with substance. Sanda's acting debut was in Robert Bresson's Femme Douce 1969, where she immediately displayed a restrained yet compelling style, perfectly suited to Bresson's minimalist direction. But it was her role in Bernardo Bertolucci's The Conformist, 1970, that made her a cinematic icon, as Anna Quadri, the seductive, emotionally elusive wife of a political dissident. Sanda delivered a haunting performance that transcended typical romantic tropes. Her dance scene with Stefania Sandrelli became a symbol of sexual ambiguity, power, and psychological tension, a key moment in film history. The Conformist cemented her status as a European art film star and set the tone for her career. Selective, sophistication, and always emotionally layered. Following The Conformist, Sanda collaborated with some of the most prominent auteurs of the decade. She played the aristocratic and vulnerable daughter in The Garden of the Finzi-Continis, 1970, by Vittorio de Sica, a poignant tale about Jewish Italians under fascism, which won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film in 1976. Again, with Bertolucci, she portrayed Ada, a schoolteacher torn between two men and two ideologies. In a sprawling historical epic starring Robert De Niro and Gerard Depardieu, her quiet melancholy became the emotional core of the film. Throughout the 1970s, Sanda chose roles that emphasized introspection and ambiguity over glamour. She starred in The Macintosh Man 1973, Steppenwolf 1974, and Beyond Good and Evil 1977. Displaying a remarkable range and philosophical depth, Dominique Sanda's acting was defined by subtlety, intelligence, and enigma. She avoided melodrama and embraced complexity, often portraying women who were emotionally restrained, wounded, or morally ambiguous. Her beauty was often compared to that of silent film stars, remote, expressive, timeless. But what made her performances magnetic was the inner life she conveyed without words. She mastered the art of silence, glances, and hesitation. In a time of cinematic revolution, Sanda became the face of European existential cinema. Critics praised her for capturing a kind of feminine mystique untouched by Hollywood tropes. Then, in the 1970s and early 80s, Sanda was an international star in highbrow circles. She graced film festival, red carpets, magazine covers, and awards ceremonies, though she often appeared uncomfortable with fame. Now, in contrast to many of her peers, Dominique Sanda withdrew gradually from the spotlight. By the 1990s, her film appearances became sporadic. She shifted her focus to theater, poetry, and private life. This retreat, rather than diminishing her image, enhanced her myth. Today, she lives mostly in Uruguay and France, making rare public appearances. She occasionally accepts roles in independent films or stage productions, but remains selective. The absence has made her legacy feel untouched by time. Sanda has always kept her personal life private, rarely indulging in interviews or gossip. She had a son, Jan, in the early 1980s with Christian Marquand, a French actor and director. Her choice to leave mainstream cinema coincided with her decision to focus on motherhood and introspection. Known for her philosophical leanings, she often quoted Rilke, Sartre, and Simone while in interviews. Her love of literature and classical music gave her a worldview rooted more in inner richness than public adulation. In the 1990s and 2000s, Sanda made a quiet but profound impact in European theater. She starred in plays by Chekhov, Pirro, and contemporary French playwrights, showcasing her classical training and depth. Her stage presence, much like her film persona, was elegant and commanding without being loud. Audiences appreciated her cerebral interpretations and emotional subtlety, though she avoided the paparazzi. Sanda embraced the purity of performance art in smaller venues, maintaining her artistic identity with integrity. In recent decades, Sanda has appeared in a handful of projects that reflect her evolving sensibility. She starred in Un Monde Presque Paisible 2002, a post-Holocaust drama, and in Sue's Les Toits de Paris 2007, a gentle portrait of aging and memory. Her roles continued to explore existential themes, loss, silence, and identity. She was never tempted by commercial projects or nostalgia-driven returns. Each appearance felt like a rare gift to those who still revered her. Her presence in cinema remains more spiritual than physical, a reminder of the time when films were poems and performances were meditations. Dominique Sanda's cult following has only grown. Film scholars cite her performances as masterclasses in restrained acting. Directors and critics often refer to her as one of the greatest actresses never fully embraced by the mainstream. Retrospectives of the Conformist, the Garden of the Finzi-Continis, and 1900 regularly feature tributes to Sanda's unique talent. Fans post rare interviews, stills, and montages online, celebrating her mystique. She has inspired countless actresses who seek to prioritize craft over celebrity and depth over commercialism. Dominique Sanda is not a forgotten actress. She is an immortal figure for those who value cinema as art. Her retreat from fame was not a loss, but a transformation from icon to myth. She continues to live quietly, far from Hollywood, in keeping with the quiet grace that defined her screen presence. But her influence lives on, in every whispered performance, every ambiguous heroine, every artful glance that suggests more than it says. She remains the eternal muse of a time when cinema dared to be philosophical, intimate, and mysterious.